I didn't know Oklahoma was 6-6. Dang.
All right, we live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the No Sports Talk Show right here live on Facebook via StreamYard. We on YouTube, man. Hey, happy holidays, man. Right here in the booth, or the virtual booth, like I always say, with my main man, Miles T. What's up, bro?
What's going on, sir?
Hey, man, not a whole lot, man. Hey,
yes,
not
sir.
a whole lot, bro. Just hey, I'm still full from all that food I ate on Christmas, man. I don't know about you, but look, I don't know
Yeah,
about
I'm hey, it's still not over because I gotta. This week's right here. I got family coming in town this weekend to celebrate the new year, bring in the new year, right? So,
oh yeah, got to
yes, sir.
got to do
Yeah,
that, man.
get to laugh at them tomorrow. Get to laugh at all y'all tomorrow as we beat the ACC champs, and we show who the real orange is. Yeah, that part.
Hey, I hope y'all do, man. I hope y'all do, because you know how they feel about Clemson and the ACC and all that. But yeah, we hope everybody had a great Christmas, man, and everybody is winding down before this new year, man. We had 2 days, but tomorrow we will officially have just one more day until 2022 is completely over with and a new chapter is upon us. So just excited about that, man, and just wishing everybody obviously a new year. So man, let's jump into things, man.
Just wanted
to wait.
Just one real quick.
What do we have here?
This is my new addition. My little grandson.
The new addition.
Yes, lovely.
Lovely, look at him.
Yes, he's just looking at me too.
I see him.
This is Uric Tyson. Uric, yep.
Uric Tyson. Look at him.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the world, young man.
Keep big chubby too.
You hear me? Huh?
That's all right.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Uric, I guess I'm gonna be debating with you next.
He'll win too. He'll win too.
I'm debating with. No, we can put both of y'all. That square is big enough for both of y'all. Go ahead, get him a chair.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man. Let's jump into sports talk right now, man. We know obviously like this is winding down, getting close to the playoff times in the NFL, and we got the bowl games going on. Obviously, like we're gonna talk about shortly, but just wanted to kick things off, man, and start in the NFL, and just talk about like who are your favorites coming out of the NFC, and who is your favorite coming out of the NFC, and who is your favorite coming out of the AFC when it comes to a Super Bowl matchup. If we can say who's your favorite right now, and obviously we're going to talk more about that. But right now, looking at it as it stands, with just 2 weeks left in the season, because we're in week 15 right now. So, looking at the landscape right now, and kind of what you've seen over the last few weeks, and how stuff has started to shape up, who would you say is your favorite out of each one of those conferences?
So right now, I would definitely, in the NFC, I definitely would ride with the San Francisco 49ers. Just defensively, they're proving that they some headhunters on every level. The defensive line, linebackers, and in the secondary, they all some ball hawks, man. And they play defense like a Georgia, like a SEC type defense of the NFL. Like they just swarm, you know what I mean? And then being like, you don't see too many defenses do that on that level consistently like they do. So I definitely would if I just had, was a betting guy and that gambling type of dude, I would definitely put my money on San Francisco coming out the NFC. And then I would definitely you got to go with KC right now. Kansas City, man, out of the AFC, man. They're proven, they've done that, they've been there, they've done that, and they lost Tyreek Hill, and they still haven't lost really nothing on offense. It's still Pat Mahomes, you know what I mean? Travis Kelce. It's still the Clark, what's his name? Claire, what's his name out of LSU running back?
Yeah.
I can't pronounce his name right. That dog. I'm looking at that. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And then you got the other running back too that's back this year and that's filling in too. And then DJ Schuster, he's filling in good off of Tyreek Hill. He's not a speedster like him, but they just got several weapons, and Andy Reid knows how to use them. That's what I like about that. So those definitely be my two teams right now for the Super Bowl today. That's who I would choose out of the NFC and out of the AFC. But Philly was there, but we don't know what's going on with Jalen Hurts and his arm and shoulder now. We just don't know. So I would have to ride with the 49ers right now.
Yeah, for me, for the NFC, I mean, I rock with Philly. I mean, first and foremost, I don't disagree with anything you said. Obviously, like, the 49ers, I think that the 49ers are that team that nobody wants to play in the playoffs. Like, if there's that one team, some people were talking about, with people, if the Packers were somehow to get in the playoffs, would you want to play the Packers? No, I think no, the 49ers are the team that you don't want to play. Forget Green Bay. Yeah. 49ers are the team that you don't want to play. And I get, I think people became like a prisoner of the moment and said, oh yeah, they forced 4 turnovers against Miami. Now Tua threw them, literally like handed them a Christmas gift. Like he threw it straight to him, and he was playing with a concussion. Everybody in Miami need to be fired. Like I don't know what it is, but they keep letting them play with concussions. But I definitely would say the Niners are just that team. Like they're that team they get in there. When they get in there, it's gonna take a lot to beat them. But the Eagles, for me, I still like the Eagles coming out of NFC, and I know that they have shown some vulnerability playing against the teams. They've had some they've been exposed in some areas when it comes to stopping the run and things of that nature. And I know Jalen Hurts had his sprained shoulder, but he was able to practice fully this week, which is good, and that's a good sign for them. And
but the thing is, it's just his throwing shoulder, though. You know what I mean? That's the only thing about it.
Yeah, and what the thing, and the good, well, at least he was able to fully practice, so that's a good thing. So he is still getting reps. And they're going to need him because they have not locked up the #1 overall seed just yet. So they're either going to need him this week or next week, depending on. And I honestly, I think that they can win one of these next 2 games that they have. To be realistic, I mean, he may not even have to play, and they could be good to go. But ideally they would like him to play, just because you don't want to go into the playoffs and him having like 5 weeks of not throwing the football at all.
Yeah.
And, they had the Saints coming up this week. I think that that's a very winnable game. I definitely think that they'll win that. And then they had a Giants the last game, which that's not a gimme. So ideally they should lock up the number 1 seed this weekend. Because you don't want to have to try to go, playing up against a physical Giant. It's a divisional game. They're physical. And I know that they're going to be in desperation mode and want Jalen out there. So it's just a dangerous game that you're playing. But I definitely, just looking at the Eagles' body of work right now, like I really like their offense. I mean, I like what they have in Miles Sanders at running back. Smitty is my boy, got his jersey on right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Smitty out of Alabama, Roll Tide all day, every day. I like that addition to AJ Brown. That was big, for their offense. You got Dallas Goedert. You got Jalen if healthy, like they can really be successful. And I mean, all year they showed it. I mean, they've been in top 3 in pretty much most of the major categories, like number 3 in yards a game. Not that really matters right now, but I'm just saying from a production standpoint, they put together some really good body of work. And I think that honestly, when it comes to the playoffs, they're really going to have to rely on their defense. They're number 1 in sacks in the NFL. So they have 61 sacks. So, and they're number 2 in turnovers. So the defense is what's going to be important and key for them. I think that's going to be one of the most important things because if the offense is struggling, which that very well can be a possibility because this is their first, like I said, everybody's first time being, if they get this number 1 seed, you know how it is when teams have never been there before. It's jitters. They're at home. They got home field advantage throughout the playoffs. We know how that goes. So unless you've already been there. So I'm expected to be a struggle. So I think the defense is definitely going to have to step up for them. But I'm still rocking with the Eagles. I got to go with my boy Jalen, my boy Smitty and them. So I like
it's an Alabama thing. It's an Alabama thing.
Oh, absolutely. But like I said, realistically speaking, if they match up against the Niners, that's a scary game.
Problem.
That's a scary game. But I can very well see the NFC Championship game being the 49ers versus the Eagles. I could see that. I could definitely see that happening. So, we'll see. But I'm rocking with the Eagles though. In the AFC, I'm rocking with the Bills. Like I said, like I know, like I said, the Chiefs and the Bills, they're at the same. They got the same record right now. The Bills are over them because they had a head-to-head win over them earlier this year. And their numbers in the NFL in yards per game, so they do put up a lot of they put up a lot of production. They average like over 400 yards a game, just at 400. So, and even I really, it's kind of hard to trust them to be honest with you, just because they've also have been exposed in areas as well. But I'm just looking at the Bills and I'm just remembering the game, that AFC Championship game a couple years back. And I really felt like that was Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. That was their moment. And I think that they're going to be able to avenge that because I really don't see it being any other matchups in the AFC Championship. Well, now I'm not going to overlook the Bengals. I'm not going to overlook them because they surprised a lot of us last year. So the Bengals are still a team that's dangerous in the AFC. But just looking at that head-to-head matchup, when they first played in week 7.
I won't count out Baltimore if Lamar comes back healthy either.
Man, Baltimore is done, bro. I'm sorry. I don't see Baltimore being a threat right now just because Lamar hasn't.
They're going to make the playoffs. They're one of those teams that you don't want to play in the first round. You don't want to play Baltimore in the first round.
Well, the thing about it is, I don't even know if Lamar would even be healthy enough to play. That's the question.
Yeah, that's the question mark. Yeah.
But I can see it being like the Bills and the Chiefs again in a rematch for the AFC
Oh, for
Championship.
sure, definitely that. But I
And
just wouldn't want to play. I wouldn't want to play Baltimore the first round of the playoffs. I won't want to do that.
We'll depending on who it is, and especially because we have to see where they're seed. Because I think where would they be like a seven, just the seventh, the sixth or the seventh seed,
something like that. Yeah.
So we'll have to see who they would go up against. I think the number 2 seed plays the 7th. I think that's how it's working.
2-7,
like they do in the NBA.
Yeah,
But
3-6.
Yeah, and
I think Baltimore's a good enough team to beat. What was that? Be the third team in the AFC. What is that? Who was that? Oh my goodness, who was the AFC third best team? It's I believe it's the right now.
The third, it's the Bengals. It's the Bengals, bro.
Yeah, and that's a that they don't, and Baltimore beat them already this year. So
I get it. I get it. I'm just saying. And that's a divisional game, so anything goes in that type of matchup.
Yeah.
But for me, like with the Bills, and then I look at the head-to-head that they had against the Chiefs, I think really the biggest thing that stood out for them in that game is they were 2 of 4 in the red zone, and they were able to force 2 turnovers. So if your defense, they're gonna have Von Miller supposed to be coming back, so that's going to be big for their defense. Hopefully, if he could be effective after being out for some time. But they're going to play the Chiefs. Like, it's important that when you get in the red zone,
he's definitely not going to be 100%. He's definitely not going to be 100%.
But they got to be able to capitalize if this matchup does happen. Like, they have to capitalize in the red zone because the Chiefs are going to put up points. But that's me. I'm going Eagles, Bills. Like I said, we'll keep talking about it as the playoff matchups, unfold more and more. But yeah, that's my teams, and we'll see. But keeping it right in the NFL, man, let's talk about Russell Wilson, man. So, and then we'll talk about Tom Brady after that. So, looking at Russell Wilson, and what he has done and hasn't done this year. In a disappointing year for the Denver Broncos after paying him I don't even remember how much they gave, whatever next contract they gave him. But
40-something million? 40-something?
It was 5 years and it was a max contract. I have to go pull it up. But do you think, based off of what we've seen from Russell Wilson this season, and the Broncos currently sitting at 4-11, got their head coach Nathaniel Hackett fired the other day in his first season. Do you think that Russell Wilson is done? Do you think that we've seen the last of what we saw of Russell Wilson was in Seattle? Do you think that he's done and his days are coming to an end?
I definitely think this is a case of Russell Wilson getting the coach fired because of his lack of play. I definitely see that, especially with a first-year coach that's really. And then Russell Wilson's past history is winning, and then this is his worst season ever in the NFL. So that definitely had a whole lot to do with his firing, Coach Hackett. But at the end of the day, I think we've seen the best of Russell Wilson. I don't think he's going to get any better. I think he's not a finished product, but I still think he can be a good quarterback in the league. But I just think we've seen the best of him. I don't think he is going to just be like leading people. I mean, a lot of that was Seattle and their defense, the Legion of Boom. I mean,
yeah,
and a lot of it was, beast mode. A lot of that. I mean, it was a lot of that, man. He really never had big time receivers, but he had everything else you could think of. You know what I mean? So I would definitely say that I think we've seen the best of Russell Wilson, but I think he still can be a productive player. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Russell Wilson is done. I think that he played terrible. Absolutely, like he
3,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Not
yeah,
good.
and
Not good.
and that's 16th, and what you just said, 16th in yards, 25th in touchdowns, and in tied for 17th in interceptions, and he's at a quarterback rating of 35, which is
Yeah.
29, 20, doggone near last in the NFL. So
Yeah.
Completing 60% of his passes. I mean, he has not been Russell Wilson that we're used to seeing.
Accustomed to.
And a
Yeah.
lot of people are saying that he's done, but I personally don't think that he's done. And it's kind of shocking because it's not like he doesn't have some nice weapons around. I mean, you got Jerry Jeudy, you have Cortland Sutton, you have KJ Hamler, like you have guys like around you. You know what I'm saying? You have a solid running game. So it's like, what is the issue? And a lot of times, like, it kind of sucks because the first thing that they're going to do is go and blame the coach. And I think a lot of this too, I think going back to that, what was it, a Sunday or a Monday night game when they were on the road in Seattle and they were driving and they had like a I think it was like a 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 or whatever. And Nathaniel Hackett decided, instead of going for it, putting the ball in Russ's hands, he decided to kick like a 54-some-yard field goal, and he missed it. I mean, he was way off. Well, I don't know if he was way off, but I remember he missed it. I think that right there, that's kind of what started like that. I don't know. It was just they weren't on the same page from that point on, and you could just see it.
But you know what I got when I was thinking of this question. Russell Wilson is kind of like what I used to say about Matt Ryan a little bit. He's not that guy that take over the huddle and like, man, but like that mock. You remember that? I don't know if you remember that that old high school movie called Blues, Varsity Blues. Varsity Blues. You might not have seen that. It might be a little too old for you.
Listen, I got an old soul, bro. That's one thing about me.
What I'm saying is Varsity Blues. Moxon would like. It was really the head coach of that team was like a legendary high school coach around there. So Moxon was like one of those guys. Like he'd do the they called it the oop like 5 sprint. He was more of a running traditional coach, but Moxon would be like he'll switch the plays up inside the like Willie Beeman type stuff.
Yeah.
So and that's what I don't see Russell Wilson like this. Like Russell Wilson, if Coach Pete Carroll would have told me to throw that ball, I'm like, nah, man, we giving this ball to beast mode.
Yeah, I don't care what you say. This is Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're giving this thing to beast mode, man. I'm not throwing this ball. And I don't see that I don't see that type of leader from him. I don't. No. And that's what Matt Ryan lacked when he played for the Falcons and all that stuff. So but I definitely think Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Matt Ryan, but I'm just saying. But I just see that type of comparison a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree when it comes to like from a leader, a leader. I'm not saying Russell Wilson is not a leader, because I do think that he's really good from a motivational standpoint when it comes to like a veteran quarterback who's been in the league, who's been to multiple Super Bowls, who's won a Super Bowl, should have 2 Super Bowls. But like you said, because he was not aggressive enough to do what we knew would have been the smartest.
Everybody knew should have been done.
Everybody, the world, like literally. I was sick to my stomach when I saw that, because I was so upset. Like, why would you even do that? But
that was what when they at the half-yard line, or
they were at like the 2-yard line, bro. He had
Marshawn 1-yard line.
Marshawn Lynch just ran the ball for 9 yards, and then they called a timeout, and they came out with that. With you know what? Let's throw.
And it wasn't even 4th down.
Let's throw a slant on 2nd and goal, because that makes that is the best play that we could run. And they literally have like, don't even get me started. I was so mad. Lord Jesus, I was so mad. but because I hated the Patriots, bro. I could not stand the Patriots.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think that looking at Seattle, you said he didn't really have to be a vocal leader because you had Richard Sherman, you had like the whole defense was pretty much the vocal leaders for the Seahawks. Like right, he didn't have to say a word because they were talking to everybody.
And beast mode,
right. So when it comes to him trying to like motivate younger play, like get them to, you know, he's not used to being that guy that's like, yeah, he gets fired up, but he's not a Richard Sherman. Like he's not gonna do that. You know what I mean? That's just not in Russ. And that's not to take away from like I said, what he's brought to the game and what knowledge that he has provided for his receivers, quarterbacks behind him. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he's in a different position now where he's not used to that. Like he's not used to having to go out there and you know, really get these guys like hype. You know, he was able to sit back and just be the guy. And then you see Richard Sherman and Bobby Wagner, all those dudes fired up on the sidelines, and then they make or Marshawn Lynch eating Skittles on the sideline and then going out there running for 200 yards and running people over. Like that gives you hype. Like he didn't have to say a word. You know what I'm saying? So you know, Marshawn Lynch was talking. He's from Oakland. Like he was look. All of them were piped up, and it was just giving him, you know, that energy that he needed. So I don't think he's done, like you said. But I definitely think that he has a lot. He has a lot that he needs to improve on. They're gonna go out, and I think that they're gonna go out and they're gonna maybe put another piece around him. Because like I said, I don't think that their wide receiver core is bad. They don't have a bad wide receiver core, but maybe they go and get somebody in free agency, another person. So, but it's not gonna matter if he can't throw in the ball. So, you know, because when we saw the Rams, that was just despicable. But moving on to Tom Brady. So let's talk about Tom Brady. How are you feeling about Tom Brady? You think Tom Brady's done? Right now, you know, he had the Tampa Bay Bucks or the Tampa Bay Bucks, whatever you want to call them, sitting at number one in the NFC North. They're 7-8, which most people say is the worst division in the NFL, which I probably would agree with, honestly. And they currently have a 1-game lead over the Panthers and the Saints heading into these final 2 weeks. So some things could change. They could make it. They could not make it. Depends on what happens the rest of the way. And I think that for their remaining 2 games coming up, they are playing the Panthers, which is it's going to get interesting. So they got the Panthers, who they have a 1-game lead over, and then they play. So they're hosting them on New Year's Day, and then they go on the road and come here to Atlanta to play the Falcons, which both games are not going to be easy.
And which I think everybody's still alive in the NFC South to make the playoffs, I believe, at the moment.
Except the Falcons have been eliminated.
They have, okay, but I know it's like so it's the top 3 still. New Orleans, because that loss to New Orleans knocked them out, I believe.
It's their division. They got knocked out because of the loss to the divisional loss. But so it's Tampa Bay, it's Carolina, and then it's the Saints.
And
but Carolina and the Saints, they had the same record, but I think that Carolina has the tiebreaker over the Saints. So,
Gotcha.
So how you feeling about Tom Brady?
But it's definitely I'm gonna take some words back that I said back in the day. I think we talked about this off air before. I ain't gonna call him the GOAT because I would definitely take a couple quarterbacks over him. But I do believe that it was more of Tom Brady than Bill Belichick now. And now that Josh McDaniel got his own team, and we seeing what Derek Carr's doing, I thought Josh McDaniel was like a quarterback guru type thing, but he's not. So, And I think Derek Carr is actually a decent quarterback, but I don't know if it's bad coaching or if it's him or I don't know. But Josh McDaniel is that guy that's supposed to make that happen, and he's not doing it. So I definitely give Tom his props now that he is definitely a top 3 quarterback of all time for sure. And some of those years that I think it was him more than it was Belichick and McDaniel. But do I think he's done? No. But I do think he is like on that last. I mean, you ain't got too many more seasons like this. You know what I mean? This year, and maybe I give him maybe one more. And after that, I think it's about done. Because basically now you just ruining your reputation. Because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they're going to win no time soon. Especially
now with Kyle Trask next in line.
yeah. And I just think, you know, so I definitely think he's on his last 2 years. I think Tom will give it one more go next year, and then I think he's going to call it quits. But for his playing the game, and I mean, what he got 4,100 yards, 4,100 passing yards, QB rating of 87.5 right now, 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But you know, I just think it's about maybe 2 years. I think it's what he got. I think he should give it up after that. If it's because you're just playing to play, you don't got no Super Bowl team.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, he don't have no reason not to play at this point since he got, you know, him
and everything.
Him and Giselle not even together anymore. So
that's the only reason I give him one more year because you know, I at least give him one more year because of that.
And I think this is the only reason. I think that's the reason why they get divorced. To be honest with you, one of them. So, you know, I don't think Tom Brady's done yet. I think he should sit down? Yeah, because it's like you said, realistically, like you're not playing for anything. You know what I mean? It's not like you're not on a Super Bowl team. You know what I mean? He's just playing because he's bored and he doesn't want to be at home. Like, you know, he's doing just like Brett Favre did years ago when he was playing, but at least. Well, I would say one of the teams Brett Favre when Brett Favre came back to Minnesota, they were actually like a team that was pretty dangerous when they had Percy Harvin and those guys. Like they were actually dangerous.
They went to the playoffs. Yeah, lost
to the NFC Championship game against the Saints. And doggone near came back and beat them because that game went to overtime. Yeah. So.
And when they said they had a bounty out for him or something like that, New Orleans got in trouble for that, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like so I'm just looking at it like, and then it took for him to get injured for him to stop playing when they played the Bears. When they played, it was a game in Minnesota, and it was like freezing outside, and he got injured and he didn't come back after that. But like for Tom Brady, you know, him being 4th in yards and 12th in touchdowns in NFL at this age, you know, he still has some football left in him. Is he going to spend these next 2 years in Tampa Bay? I doubt it. I doubt that he comes.
He's going to retire there. I think he's going to retire there.
And it's kind of I can see it because he has a house there. Well, depending on if I don't know if he selling the house or what, but I don't know. If he really wants to, and it really just comes down to if he really does want to get another ring and then leave after that. And if that's the case, I know some people were talking about him going to San Francisco and going, which I can see, but I mean, I don't think that San Francisco would want to do that when they see that they had their future in Brock Purdy right now.
Right now.
You know,
and I don't think Kyle Shanahan, they're not them type of coaches. They don't want that.
I don't think they want to.
Shanahan's never did. Besides John Elway, they always wanted that. You know, it's about them. It ain't about the quarterback. You know what I mean? It's about their, you know, the Shanahan, their play call, their offensive coordination. Yeah. So
you know, that's just how I feel about it. I'm just looking at it like, look, you know, he does have some football left in him. It's just I think that, you know, it's like you say, he's on that last leg. You can
sure.
see it. So, but hey, y'all, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back, give y'all a little inspiration, and we're gonna talk some more sports talk and get up out of here for the night, man, and finish this countdown to the new year. So keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, we're back. The No Sports Talk Show live via StreamYard, man, right here on Facebook Live as well, and streaming on YouTube. Man, this is always around the time where we give y'all our inspirational segment, man. And as always, we always like to give you all something to take back with you, something to finish out the rest of your week, something motivational for you and healthy for your mind and your spirit, man. And I personally just wanted to say we only got a couple, well, pretty much a day left of 2022, and really just looking over this year. I really just encourage everybody to see how God has blessed you and how God has brought you, thus far. And I know that, obviously 2022, was not an easy year for, for anybody. Everybody has their ups and downs, and you have your different trials that you go through. And, we have those different seasons throughout the year. Some, like I said, that are really fun and enjoyable, and some that are not so fun or enjoyable. But through it all, I just really encourage y'all to just look back, see how you started 2022, see how you progressed through this year, how God kept you in those moments where you weren't feeling your best and where you wanted to give up, but you kept pushing and you kept striving to reach wherever it is that you wanted to reach. And you may not be all the way there yet, but you taking those steps, and you gotten, by the grace of God, closer and closer to whatever it is that you're aspiring to do, whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. And it's a blessing to be able to wake up, each and every day, and with breath in your body, and roof over your head and clothes on your back. So if anything, man, just be thankful for being able to have that, and
For life, yeah,
life, you know what I mean? And like I said, trials come, and it's expected, and God never told us our life was going to be easy, but he's keeping us, and he's going to continue to keep us through going into this next year in 2023. So yeah, again, man, count your blessings and continue to move forward, and thank God for what he's done, and what and like I always say, And I'll pass it over to Miles. I always thank God for what he's done. I thank him for what he didn't do. And then I praise him and I thank him in advance for whatever it is he's going to do next. So, and I don't know what that is, but just go about it that way. And I promise you, it's going to make you feel a lot. It's going to make you feel, great. So, Miles, you got anything to add, bro?
Not really. You said it all, really, for real, bro. Just be thankful for another year, and that guy got you through this year, and hopefully you got a little bit better in 22 than you was in 21. You know what I mean? So, at least you saw some growth, some mental growth, physical growth, spiritual growth, all that. So, and that's what it's all about, growing each and every year, each and every day. So, and just like I said, just thank God for this another year. And I know 2023 ain't here yet, but you're close to it, and be thankful for it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And before we move, got to shout out Mom's book again. Like I told y'all last time we were on, man. It's called Deliverance in the Distance, Freedom from Darkness.
Yes, sir.
By Mom's. Oh, wait. Got to get it back in the camera. There it is. And then Mom's picture on the back. Mom, I'm sorry if they can't really see it that good, but there we go. I'm trying to get you in there. But y'all go purchase a copy of this, man. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. And like I said, I've already started reading mine. So again, it's gonna bless y'all. So make sure you get your copy and support Moms. And yeah, man. So let's jump back into our sports talk. Oh, and make sure you guys follow us before we get into any more sports talk. Follow us on Facebook at the No Sports Talk Show. That's our Facebook page. And then you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's the No Sports Talk Show on YouTube as well. So please subscribe to that. And when you subscribe to it, it will alert you when we do go live for each and every broadcast. So make sure you subscribe to that so you can be up to date on whenever we're coming live with more sports talk. So jumping back into things, man. So Miles, let's talk bowl games. So we'll talk about who our most impressive players so far that we've seen in the bowl games, and then let's talk about the other bowl games in general. So right now, looking at the games that have been played so far, who would you say is your most impressive player that you've seen out of the bowl games that have been played so far?
I ain't gonna lie to you, I haven't watched a lot of those because the real big schools are just now starting this week. So
right.
But what I've seen so far, like last night, I was very impressed with the quarterback out of Kansas, Jalon Daniels.
Yes.
I was very, very impressed with what he did last night against Arkansas, SEC foe, and him having literally 544 yards, bro, 5 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. And I think he's still just I know he got some more eligibility left. He's only 20 years old. He's just like a sophomore.
He's a junior.
Junior, okay. Yeah, I'm looking at that. Yeah, he's a junior. So, but he's the most impressive I've seen out of somebody I wasn't expecting to see. Yeah. So definitely him, Jalon Daniels out of Kansas for sure.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. You read my mind because that was who I had on mine is my most impressive player. I think that what he was able to put on and what he displayed last night against Arkansas, like that was very impressive. Like,
yeah.
5 touchdowns, like you already said, and he also had 1 rushing touchdown as well. So he accounted for 6 touchdowns altogether. And then with them being down 25 points
in the fourth quarter,
38-13 in the fourth quarter, and being able to come back and rally back the way that they did and get tough 2-point conversions like that, it's it was amazing to see that. It was crazy. So, hats off to that kid, man. And like I said, I think him being only a junior, he's coming back his senior year. Like that's gonna be, he's gonna be an exciting player to watch, man. And I was looking at like, shoot, he could he could have declared for the draft after last night because for real. And you can throw the ball too, like he can throw like
on the run, in the pocket, all of it.
It was crazy, bro. Like, it was crazy.
And we got to remember, okay, that he missed about 4 Kansas games this year with a concussion or something earlier in the season, or he got injured. And because Kansas ended up 6-6, but with him didn't get injured, Kansas could have been a whole lot more dangerous than they were. So because they did start off 5-0, 6-0 at one time. So at the beginning of the season. Yeah, so that's definitely my player so far.
Yeah, man. So, fast forward into not fast forward, but let's talk about the bowl games in particular. So we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about the 3 bowl games. So the Orange, the Sugar, and the Rose Bowl, and then we'll talk about the Fiesta and the Peach Bowl. Those are our playoff matchups, and give our picks. So let's kick it off with y'all's game, the Orange Bowl tomorrow. Since it's being played tomorrow, that's the first major bowl game that's being played. I'm kind of surprised that they're playing on Friday. I always felt like the Orange Bowl should be one of like a New Year's. I
think they're doing it because it's 8:00 tomorrow, so it's prime time, baby. It's prime time.
Yeah, I always
thought Friday night. We want the Orange.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of orange. It's funny because it's the Orange Bowl with Tennessee and Clemson.
And I think they set it up that way. They did it. They made it a big deal.
They did, and I guess
Friday they didn't want it. They didn't want to put it on the same day as the play. That's why they put y'all at 12:00 on Saturday, because y'all rinky dink both.
No. First of all, all the real games get played. All the real games get played on New Year's Eve. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Well, y'all play at 11:30. Y'all play at 11:55.
We play at 12.
Morning.
But we play at 12. But you wouldn't know nothing about a New Year's Six ball because y'all ain't played one.
People gonna be drinking coffee in robes watching y'all, man. Nobody paying no attention to y'all, man.
Y'all wouldn't know nothing about a New Year's Six ball because y'all haven't played in one since you was probably about 18. So that's probably yeah.
I'll let you have that one.
Nah, it's true. We go.
don't let Kansas State mess around and beat y'all.
No, don't. Man, stop playing. Stop playing.
This is their national championship playing Alabama.
First of all, let's focus. We're not talking about our game yet. Let's focus on y'all's game.
Okay.
Because they don't think y'all. They got Clemson as a 6-point favorite. So, let's look at what y'all are going to do, because coming to this game, how are you feeling with no Hendon Hooker, no Jalen Hyatt, because he obviously opted out because of the draft. Hendon Hooker tore his ACL, so he's not going to be playing. So you guys got your backup coming in place of Hendon Hooker. How are you feeling about y'all up against Clemson right now, which really and truly, it's not like I'm surprised. I mean, I think the only reason why they had, and that's really the only reason why they have them as a 6-point favorite, is because Hendon Hooker is not playing.
Yeah, I believe.
Otherwise, I definitely think y'all would have been favored in this game by at least 10.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you feeling? I know who you're gonna pick, but how you feeling?
Well, of course, I'm gonna go with the Big T. So. But I'm good with Joe Milton. I think he can do it. I know I'm definitely not worried about his arm and strength, or I'm just worried about his accuracy. And just what happened last year when Hendon Hooker came into the Pittsburgh game last year. Joe Milton. I mean, we should have been better than what we was last year too. We should have beat Pittsburgh, like blew them out last year. That's when they had the kid that went to Pittsburgh this year, the Steelers. What's his name? The guy that's playing for the Steelers right now.
Who are
He
you
was
talking?
there, the quarterback, Pickett, I believe his name is. What's that?
George Pickens. Oh no,
Pickens.
you said
Yeah.
Kenny. You're talking about Kenny Pickett. Who are you talking about?
Pickett, yeah, the quarterback for the Steelers.
Oh yeah,
he was the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Panthers last year.
Kenny Pickett.
And we jumped out. We jumped out on them like 14-3. We was killing them, and it could have been like 21-3 if Joe Milton didn't overthrow guys like wide open. So I know the offense is going to be there. It's going to be his accuracy. I think Keaton will do good. Number 80. We still got McCoy, and we still got enough weapons to where we're going to be good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really worried about defensively. I know we're going to bend a little bit, but hopefully just don't break. You know, for his Clemson's offense, but their quarterback went into the transfer portal. You know, so we don't know how this freshman or sophomore is going to do for them. We don't have too much film on him, but defense, Clemson's defense is good. Their front line. So I think one of them declared for the NFL, and he's not playing. I can't remember his name, but for Clemson, you know. So, but I'm just saying, I think we got enough still to make it, and I think this is just going to be the beginning of a literally 10-11 season tradition. That's what it's going to be. This is the beginning of it, and this is going to put us on the map for next year. We're going to be a top 5 team coming into next year, and that's how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to be, just like that.
That's how it's going to be. Period.
Okay.
Point blank.
Okay.
And Georgia, we're going to be a problem.
That sounds real good. Well, now I definitely think I'm not a believer in Clemson at all. To be honest with you, I mean, Clemson is not impressive, and I don't think that. And they're gonna have to back up the kid that had to come in for DJ to win against NC State. They're gonna have him because I know DJ is transferring. So
he's in the transfer portal. Yeah.
Yes. He's already he's already transferred. So I definitely think that y'all will win this game. I mean, I got Tennessee winning this. I'm not there. The whole 6-point favorite. I don't see Clemson. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't see them being able to win the game and nothing like that. I'm not gonna it's a bowl game, so anything goes. But I personally just don't feel like Clemson has enough to beat Tennessee.
Not offensively. Not offensively.
Offensively, defensively, their defense could keep them in the game, especially because of it's your backup QB. So that's really what probably will keep them in the game and will probably keep the game interesting. But ultimately, I do think that offensively, I just don't think they have enough firepower. So, I'm definitely I'm rocking with y'all to win that game. And moving on to the Sugar Bowl. So
at least you learned something in 2022, didn't you? You learned something in 2022, didn't you?
No, I learned a lot. Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah, I'm talking about Tennessee. Yeah, you get on the bandwagon, son. Get on the bandwagon.
There's no bandwagon. Y'all still behind Alabama like it always has been. So y'all behind us, looking up, trying to figure out how you can get up there. But
how is that even possible when we beat you head to head, and the other loss you had was a team that we beat 40-13 at their place? How are y'all ahead of us?
Because y'all gave up 63.
How is that even possible?
Because y'all gave
us. That's like Donald Trump winning the presidential election. It's just unbelievable.
Well, y'all being up this high, that's what that's comparable to. That is comparable to that. Y'all being in the top 5. I will give you that, because that's incredible. But y'all gave us 63 points to South Carolina. That's why. That's the reason why. And y'all don't have Hendon Hooker. So I think
that's what it is. I think it's Hendon Hooker more than it is South Carolina.
I think it's both. It's 50-50 because that's embarrassing because that happened with Hendon Hooker. So it don't matter. And Jalen Hyatt was out there too. So none of that matter. Hendon Hooker didn't get hurt to the fourth quarter. So,
and ain't it funny that we're playing a team that South Carolina both beat us to keep us out of the national championship?
It's beautiful.
It's crazy. It's crazy how it worked out that way.
It's absolutely beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Okay. God working mysterious ways. You know what I mean? But
yeah, you worry about Kansas State.
Like I was trying to get to Kansas State before you start talking crazy. Now, got number 5 Alabama, number 9 Kansas State, Sugar Bowl. Got Bama coming out as a 6.5-point favorite in this one. Bryce Young, Will Anderson decided not to opt out of the bowl game, and they will be playing in this game, which is huge. I think that a lot of people think that that's crazy, but for them, they want to finish off what they started, and finish it off with their team, which I can't knock them for that. People, say, you're risking injury by going out there and playing. You risk injury every day. You know what I'm saying? Stuff can happen, and they want to play. They're those two guys who are 1 and 2 prospects in the NFL. They want to play. So they're going out there and they're doing that. And I don't. I can't hate on them for it. If they didn't play, I still would have supported. But whatever decision they would have decided to do, like, we all would have supported that because it's ultimately their decision.
At the end of the day, I think y'all need them to win.
I don't think we need I don't think we need both of them to win the game. Not against Kansas State. Let's stop playing. Like, let's stop playing. We don't need both of them to win against Kansas State at all. If both of them weren't playing, we would not need them to win the game. I guarantee you that. The best player on Kansas State team is Deuce Vaughn, or Deuce, or whatever you want to look. How many ever Deuce nicknames you can come up with?
If Adrian Martinez play, he's going to be a problem.
Not worried.
He's been hurt. He's been hurt the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season.
Not worried about that.
Okay.
Like, I think that our team, we finished off the year on a really positive note. The way we play in the Iron Bowl, I think that they're going to play angry. I'm not worried about Adrian Martinez and all this. I'm not worried about that. I think that we're going to be focused. We're going to come in there. We're going to handle business. And I think that, and this is also going to be big because I think that more of the younger guys are going to get some exposure too early on. And some of our younger receivers are going to get out there and be able to get some playing time. And you're going to see what you got heading in next year. I don't know I don't know how long Bryce and Will are going to play. I don't know if it's going to be up until a halftime thing or what, or maybe into the third quarter. Who knows how long they're going to play. I don't know if they're going to play the entire game. I don't know. But
they're going to need them.
Miles, stop being – look. And see, this is the reason why – I'm telling
you, it's going to be a problem.
Miles, this is the reason why Tennessee has just been just hoping and wishing and praying for so many years, because you just disrespect your big brother like that. Don't disrespect your big brother. Don't disrespect your big brother like that. Y'all, Tennessee is our little brother, bro. Like, don't do us like that. Like, matter of fact, y'all step brothers. Y'all not even our brothers. Y'all are step brothers. Like, y'all on. Listen, we your brothers by law this year. We just figured out we was related. We just figured out y'all. We just figured out y'all exist.
We our brother-in-law by this year.
Man, we spent 11 years trying to. We didn't even know for 11 years we had a stepbrother, but I guess y'all decided to speak up.
What's your prediction?
Okay. Huh?
What's your prediction? Who's winning?
What do you mean who's winning? Alabama's winning this game. Are you serious?
I got Kansas State.
You disrespect. I got Clemson in. Forget you. You're disrespectful.
No, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm being honest.
No. You're being disrespectful.
No, I'm not. I want. No, don't get me wrong. I want Alabama to win because I want Kansas State to win.
You think Kansas State gonna beat Alabama, Miles? You said with a straight face. You think Kansas State's gonna beat Alabama?
I think they got a chance to beat y'all. Yes.
And I'm buying your grandson some Alabama gear. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I think
they got a chance.
I got something for all that. Since you, I got something for that. Don't worry. But
I said I think they got a chance. I didn't say they will. I said I think they got a chance.
Yeah, nah. I ain't trying to hear all that. Moving on to the
That
Rose
noon
Bowl.
game, I think. Okay.
Not worried. Moving on to the Rose Bowl. Number 8 Utah versus number 11 Penn State. So Utah opens as a 2-point favorite in this game. Miles, who do you like in this one?
I haven't seen. I've seen Utah play more than Penn State this year, so I'm gonna ride with Utah. I think their defense overall and them are just a better team. For Penn State, like I said, they was. I seen one game against. The only game I seen was Penn State against Michigan and Ohio State, and they got drunk. Just beat the mess out of both games. Got drugged. So the only competition I seen them play Penn State and they got blown out was. So I get the edge. I seen Utah play in. They beat USC twice. They went on the road to Florida and lost like by last play. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So for the closer and bigger games, Utah has won and Penn State has lost. So I'm going with Utah.
Yeah, I'm going with Utah in this game. First and foremost, Penn State hasn't played anybody. They haven't beaten anybody. I'm not saying they didn't play. They did play like Ohio State or whatever. They haven't beaten anybody. Nobody,
and they got beat bad by both. So
right, yeah. And nobody that they beaten on their schedule is ranked in the top 25 or were ranked in the top 25 when they played them or beat them. So not sold on Penn State. Them being number 11 is a joke. That's why when they were talking about how impressive that Ohio State win over them was because that they were ranked number 11 just outside of the top 10. That's garbage. Like Penn State is not. They're not even the real number 11 team. They're just there. They're there because people in front of them lost. Like, and they literally moved up. Nothing they did on their schedule this season proves that they should be a number 11 team at all. We saw what Utah was able to do against USC in the Pac-12 championship game. I think that their defense is going to be too much for Penn State. I also think offensively they have some really they have a really solid offense. I think that they'll come out, they'll be aggressive, and I think that they'll win this game. And
I low key like their quarterback. I like him. He's actually
Utah's quarterback. And I honestly don't think I don't think this game is going to be a 2-point kind of game. I think that they could win this. I think
they're gonna handle them. Yeah,
they can win this game. They can win this game by double digits. Like they really can against Penn State. Like I don't know where they're getting this 2-point favorite stuff from, but they can win this game. At least I could at least get them at least by 12, maybe 14. To be honest with you,
I give them 10. I give them 10 or more. Definitely 10 or more.
And moving on, let's talk college football playoff now. So first and foremost, the Fiesta Bowl. So looking at number 3 TCU versus number 2 Michigan. Michigan's a 7.5-point favorite. Who do you like in this one?
TCU, Michigan. It's going to be a good game. I'm going to give TCU the edge because I think they got more athletes offensively. They got a receiver that's about 6'4", goes up there and get it. Yeah, they got a couple of them, but there's one guy that's 6'4" that I had his name on my phone. My phone's messing up, but he's the beast, and I've seen him play about 3 games. And the quarterback, I like him too.
You talking about number one,
the Heisman candidate, everything on TCU, number 1, yeah.
Yeah, number 1. Yeah, he's a monster. I think his name. I'm gonna get it for you real quick. I think his name is it Kendre Miller? Let me see.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm sorry.
But he got dreads in his head. He got dreads.
It's Quentin Johnston. That's number 1. Quentin Johnston.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he's like 6'4", and he's a beast. He goes up and get it, So. And I definitely like the quarterback. What's his name? The Gobbins or
Max Duggan.
Dugan. Oh my gosh, I can't get none of the names right. Dugan's. I like him against Oklahoma when I played there. I saw them play Oklahoma, and that's when I was impressed with him. The way he ran like a 65-yard touchdown, like untouched. I was like, okay, that put him on the map for me. Like, I didn't know if he had a Heisman season. Like, I think he was only there because of Hendon Hooker got hurt. Me honestly, but other than that, I do think overall TCU got the more athletes offensively, but you can't count them out. You can't count Michigan out, but because they're going to play that old school football. I know John Harbaugh. They're going to run the ball, run the clock, chew the clock up a little bit, play solid defense. They're going to do old school football, but I think TCU got some more offensive firepower.
True. Way. Yeah, I think for me, I do agree. I think that TCU has the athletes to really challenge Michigan. Michigan has the running game, and that's their strength. Their running game is their biggest strength. And I think that if you take that away, then Michigan just becomes very vulnerable.
Yeah, they come very simple. They're just
simple. They're very I don't know. It just becomes predictable because there's not now you would have thought that they were top 5 in passing in the nation for what they did against the Ohio State, but I definitely think that TCU, they provide they bring matchup problems. They do, but I'm just not sold on their defense. I'm just not really sold on their defense too much. I think they're I don't give up a lot of points. So I'm leaning towards Michigan. I'm leaning towards Michigan just because I don't like what TCU's head coach said, and pretty much threw some shade against the SEC. I don't know if you heard about what he said when he was like, the SEC is dominant and a part of that is because they're really good. They have really good teams, and then another part of that is because they know how to schedule really well. And he was like, we're playing conference games like later on, in like the last 2 weeks of the season, but they're playing teams like the Citadel and stuff like that in the last 2 weeks, like trying to throw shade, and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I didn't like that.
No,
I'm originally from the Midwest anyway, so I'm rocking with Michigan, man. I'm gonna rock with Michigan. I'm gonna do this for my uncle because my uncle's a Michigan fan, so I'm gonna rock with Michigan. And but I think this game is definitely gonna be. It's definitely going to be an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
I can say out of the two, I think it's going to be exciting.
I think it's going to be better than the Ohio State Georgia game. I do.
And yeah, it could be. And honestly, I mean, both of the games may turn out good. We never know.
I think Georgia going to dominate. I think Georgia going to dominate Ohio State. I really do.
I don't know, but pretty much since we're on that game now, so the Peach Bowl, Georgia's a 6.5 point favorite. You think that they're going to dominate Ohio State?
I think they will. I give them more than that. I give them at least a double digit. I think they're going to handle that. Yeah, because they don't want to leave no doubt. Georgia is on a mission this year. They want to do it 2-2, and Kirby Smart's the defensive coach. He's going to have them boys ready, and they're the lead. He's going to leave no doubt in both games. I think Georgia is definitely the hands down favorite to win this by a lot.
Yeah, according to Vic, they're a favorite to win it by too much with 6.5. Yeah. But I mean, for me, I think that
the only thing that'll keep that with is referees. Referees and bad coach, bad play calling.
I also
not excuse me, bad refereeing. Some little getaways and stuff. Other than that, Georgia should handle that for real.
I personally I just look at this and I think that for them from a physicality standpoint, like I definitely think that Georgia has the edge from a physicality standpoint. I mean, this is SEC versus Big Ten, and we know who's more physical there. We know who has like. I'm not saying we have more athletes, but we know we had the big boys in the SEC. But I'm looking at it. I think that this Ohio State team is the most threat that they've had to play against when it comes to passing, aside from y'all. That's from their passing attack, because y'all just caught them at a bad time. Like, I don't know what happened with y'all, but I think that this Ohio State team this year,
it was a Georgia game. It was a home game for Georgia. That's what what got.
And they just, I don't know, y'all coach just, I don't know, Heupel just kind of.
And then ain't this the Chick-fil-A Bowl?
Yeah.
So it's going to be in Georgia.
Home game. It's another home game.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. So,
but I'm telling you, I think CJ Stroud, Marvin Harrison Jr. I know they're not gonna have Jackson Smith Najaba out there because he opted out for the draft. But then you got Minyon Williams. That's going to be important. If Ohio State is able to run the football, I think that's going to be.
They got two decent running backs too. They got good running backs.
Yes, I think if they can really develop a running game,
and that's one thing Georgia don't give up is the run. That's one thing you're not going to do on Georgia is the run.
The only they gave up the run a little bit against like Georgia Tech and stuff. I mean, they've given up some running, some yards. But I think that if they can develop a run game, if they can really establish that, that's going to open up a lot of stuff. But Ohio State just hasn't looked impressive this year. They just have not really shown me anything to give me confidence that they're going to win this game. But at the same time, I think that if I had to pick out anything, it'd be their passing attack. Passing attack is really good, and
Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah,
I still don't think that they were challenged vertically by anybody this year. Like, they still have not been really challenged vertically. I think that Ohio State is that team that they're going to take their deep shots. Like, they're not going to deviate away from that. Like, they're definitely going to take shots, and I think that I know they have Mingo on one side, but that other side is still. I don't know. I still think that they're vulnerable in their secondary, and we're gonna see if Ohio State can expose that. But for now, I'm gonna go with Georgia. But like I said, I think that Ohio State can challenge them, and I don't think it's gonna be. It may not be as easy as we think. We'll see, and it just really depends on how Stetson Bennett performs too. If he's put in a situation where he has to go out there and win the game, which they're going to make it simple for them. And the other thing is, can Ohio State stop Georgia's running game? Because that's really their bread and butter. When they're running the ball effectively, everything else just becomes easy. So are they going to be able to match them from a physicality standpoint up front and be able to disrupt their running game, get in the backfield? Like, are they going to be able to do that? Because Stetson Bennett is going to put some balls out there that could be intercepted. Like, he doesn't really. There's times he does get careless.
No, I done underestimated him a couple times this year, and he come out. I don't know. In the biggest moments, he shines the brightest to me.
I mean, he is a good quarterback. He is a solid quarterback. I don't know. I just personally, I feel like I've seen some games and I've seen him turn the ball over.
I have seen that too, especially in the Missouri game this year.
The Missouri game, the Florida game. I've just seen some stuff that's just been really questionable. But like I said, we'll see. But right now, I'm gonna lean towards them. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State gives them a game. So, but yeah, And so that was it for bowl games. And real quick, before we get out of here, who do you think? Go NBA real quick. Who do you think is the scariest team in the NBA right now?
Right now, the team I said before the season even started, the New Orleans Pelicans, baby. That's it. Zion Williamson, that man, that dude, the next face of the NBA. Yes, sir. Averaging 33 minutes, 25 points a game, 8 rebounds, 7. He's got LeBron James type numbers, bro. So, and they're doing this right now without Brandon Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my team right now. If I right now would be New Orleans versus Boston right now. That's my picks. Brooklyn looks scary though. Brooklyn's looking scary. They're on like a 9 or 10 game win streak.
They're on a 10-game win streak.
Yeah. So I give them that. You know, Kevin Durant and Kyrie, you can't never count that out. But the scariest team right now, and they're young, and they're so scary because you don't really know. And they're deep. You know what I mean? You know what Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant's going to bring, so they're not scary. That's nothing scary. That's nothing that you're not knowing what's coming. You don't know what's coming with New Orleans. And they don't have Brandon Ingram right now. And they're deep. And they're young.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they are. I could agree with them being a scary team. I really can. I mean, Boston's already up there, so.
But you already knew that, though. We already knew.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, Boston's like up there already. So it's not like you could really say, you know, they're number one. So that's easy to say that they're scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that New Orleans is a scary team. I like Memphis. I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I like the Grizzlies as a scary team, but you know, nobody expected the Pelicans to be first in the
Western Conference,
the Western Conference right now. So yeah, that's definitely scary with no Brandon Ingram. So
exactly, you know, Brandon's going to give you 20 a game at least. He's giving you 20.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see what happens, man. But yeah, y'all, that was all we have for y'all, man. We're gonna go ahead and say our goodbyes before we get out of here tonight.
Yes, sir, man. First and foremost, give thanks to my Lord and Savior, man, like always, and appreciate you, VJ, always, and thanks to people watching and listening, and just keep us in the know, and keep in the know with us, so we can continue to bring you the know Sports Talk Radio, man. So I just thank God and have a happy New Year. Y'all have a happy holidays. Be safe out here, man, and go Vols tomorrow. We're gonna beat the ACC champion, and we're gonna handle business. And good luck Saturday, VJ. Good luck.
Oh, look, I appreciate that, but you know what I'm saying. We're gonna handle business.
Okay,
ain't worried about that.
Well, you'll hear from me tomorrow. You're gonna hear from me about 3:00.
Then you're gonna hear from me tomorrow night if y'all don't win this game. So you better hope.
I'm not worried about tomorrow.
You better hope and pray.
Milton's gonna be on. He might can go to the NFL after this game.
Oh my God. Okay. See, and that's
he got the arm strength already. He probably got the best arm, strongest arm in college football. But the accuracy thing is different.
No. Yeah, he don't got the strongest arm in college.
Okay.
If he did, he'd be starting. But yeah, so we appreciate everybody again giving us some of your time tonight. Talk some good, healthy sports talk, man. We want to wish everybody a happy New Year. Be safe, and again, like I said, just enjoy these last day of the New Year starting tomorrow. Enjoy these last moments, man, and count your blessings. And we'll be back and see y'all in 2023, God willing. So good night, be blessed, man. As always, roll tide.
Go Vols.